Dad and I have started a journey from unemployment to lifting the Champions League. And so far, I really struggled to get a job, and it took me a whole season, in fact. While Dad enjoyed back-to-back promotions with Tranmere Rovers, taking them from Sky Bet League 2 into the Championship in just 18 months. And in Season 2, I went through heartbreak as I missed out on a promotion from the second tier of Belgium in the relegation playoffs on penalties. So now, while assessing his options, Dad actually thinks it might be time to move on from Tranmere Rovers. And so, while looking at jobs available, Dad went and applied for 3 clubs. The 2 in Italy who've just been relegated in Genoa and Sampdoria, as well as Eintracht Braunschweig, who dropping down into Bundesliga 2 themselves. They were the first club, in fact, to come back though, and handed Dad a rejection letter. And while all this was going on, my scouts had found me some top-class talents to add to my side in hopes that I can gain promotion this season. Dad decided to apply for another club though, in Southampton. They were in a much better financial position than Tranmere after only just being relegated into the Championship after finishing 19th in the Premier League. The Sampdoria board wasn't interested in Dad's services, but Southampton were a little bit more curious and decided to interview the current Tranmere manager. And he must have impressed, because soon after, Dad was offered the job to move down south to become their new gaffer. Dad then spent the following 2 months selling and buying, wheeling and dealing, and transforming the Southampton side from Premier League rejects to hopefully a side capable of going up and staying up. While I was making sure my side wasn't just sobbing after last season's heartbreak, and we were focused and ready to go again. Right, Dad, we mentioned that you might have a new club. None of us said Southampton. The comments did.
Yeah.
None of us did. And here you are.
Well, I was waiting for the German side. Then I thought, well, that didn't come through. They weren't interested. And I was looking for whether the Sampdoria wouldn't be any good. And then the Southampton job just sort of caught my eye. I thought, hang on a minute. I didn't realise they were there. Applied for it. Hey, oh, here I am.
Yeah.
The new Southampton manager.
I mean, they did just get relegated from the Premier League, so they are obviously quite a big club going into the Championship. Whereas you would have been at Tranmere in the Championship, and obviously one of the worst clubs in there. So, yeah, if anything, it is a massive upgrade to get the Southampton job. I think it's a good move.
It's a good move. I'm just hoping I don't do another Coventry.
Well, yeah, who currently sit above you, funny enough.
That's right, yeah. So it's a good move. I'm pleased with that. They gave me a good budget to work with as well. So, where Tranmere sort of gave me absolutely nothing, so I've been really struggling. So, yeah.
They did, but that adds more pressure. Now, £35 million has gone out. £18 million has come in. In fact, there might even be more, because that was the January window. So we've got the likes of Enzo Laffi come in from Sunderland, Bukovic. I'm not sure whether you had joined at this point. Peter Kaiser was yours, though, definitely a DM.
I did sign him, yeah.
Dunash, who you got on the wings. Lucas Bergval.
That was a freebie. Was it a freebie? I'm sure it was a freebie.
Yeah, it was free transfer.
I just couldn't believe I got that guy already. I just thought I'll try him and look, and yeah, I've got him.
Yeah, very unlike you signing Spurs players.
Yeah.
Zivkovic for £7 million at the back. Miles Thornbury, £21 million. Looks like a really good new gen, especially going into the Championship. Kelvin at right back as well. Then we got Michael Noonan for less than £1 million. He's very good.
That's a good boy, yeah.
Yeah. Anthony Boyer, £18 million.
Another good striker, young striker, yeah.
John Kennedy, another striker. And then we've got Talal Mazouk, who is a loan deal that you've brought in from Manchester United, who, to be honest, is very good.
Yeah.
So spending a lot of money obviously adds to pressure because you're probably expected to go straight back up.
Yes.
Now, tactically, you've got a 4-3-3 setup.
Hence why I bought a lot of strikers.
Yeah. Locked in the goalkeeper.
Yep, I'm going to try this young keeper because the other one was it was all right, but they were sort of like on par with each other. So I'm hoping that if I lock the young keeper in, he'll come good for me.
Yeah, he does look good as well. Because best 11 pick looks like this. So Soriano actually goes in the goal.
Yeah.
And he's 33 years of age and probably not as good.
As you can see, they're almost identical to each other, really. So it's worth just locking him in and try it, really.
But yeah, good side. I mean, they already had Ben Brereton Diaz.
Yes, that was
still there.
Yeah.
Transfer listed for £30 million. They've got a couple of good players in there, to be honest. But is it good enough to get themselves back up? We started well. You know, you've only lost one game to Coventry.
One game against Coventry. Funny enough, a team we mentioned. Yeah.
Cardiff
I'm
was
pleased.
a draw as well.
I'm pleased with the start of the season. So hopefully it keeps going like that. Really.
Yeah. Right. Well, over to Belgium because I'm still here. Still here at Liesi. I still don't know how to say it. To be honest, I think I had quite a good transfer window considering I had no money whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
We've got some decent players in here to try and get ourselves promoted after the disappointment of last season. We brought in left backs, we've brought in centre backs because we needed to strengthen up that defence. We've brought in right-sided players as well. Got a couple players from that club NXT because there's another really good centre back that we've brought in who, for my level, is probably my best centre-back now. Goda, who I brought in quite late, he's probably going to be my starting left wing-back. Longello on loan. I'm using the loan market because I think it's quite important there. Another one here in goal. He actually might start a few games as well. And Amavor up front, who actually comes in as one of our best strikers, hilariously. But they weren't my best signings. I genuinely think my two best signings were the two signings that I made right at the start of the transfer window. We've got Tommaso De Longo, who is a really good right-sided right back. And then we've got Angel Ferrero from Argentina, plays in that number 10 role. And do you know what? As a free transfer, cannot go wrong with
bargain,
that.
isn't it?
Yeah. 22 years of age. He's only on £825 a week. We have changed our system. So last season, obviously, became very close, getting into the playoff and then the relegation / whatever it was, playoff. So we switched things around, very similar to what we were using with a 3 at the back. Haven't really changed much at the back here. It's more going forward. We've got Ferrero in that number 10 role, giving him a role that he actually likes and going to 2 up front with a false 9 and an advance forward. Have we started well? Well, we've lost the first game of the season, which was very frustrating, and we've also drawn against Zulte Waregem, who's quite a big side in Belgium in terms of how big we are anyway. So there are a lot of wins around it. There's just a lot in the cup. You can see there's 2 in the cup there that we've managed to win, but only 1, or 2 in fact, in the league, which was both 2-1 wins against Lamel and Bavarian. So I still think we might be able to get into like the playoff positions. The season preview actually puts us in 3rd place, which is a great sign. That would be in the playoffs though. So playoff situation would be great. However, if we manage to pull off automatic promotion, that would make my life a lot easier. So let's see what happens. Executing our plan was going to be tricky, but we set off to a great start. And roughly at the halfway mark of the season, we put ourselves top of the league and in a title race, but it was still close in on points. Dad was in a similar situation and was currently on a very good run going into the final 21 matches. His side was also the league's top scorers, and at that point, Ben Brereton Diaz was leading the Golden Boot race as well. Dad's main problem was that his side was rather weak defensively, and they were prone to concede a lot of goals too. And that began to show in his results as Southampton went on a bad run of games and dropped from the top 2 and into the playoffs. Meanwhile, I was really enjoying myself in Belgium, where we continued to surprise a lot of opponents. And our 5 at the back system really helped us actually avoid the playoffs this season and instead gain automatic promotion, just what we needed after last year. The same couldn't be said for Dad, however, who stayed in the playoffs and has to now face Hull City in the semi-final. And the first leg was rough for Dad as he gave up a 2-0 lead to lose 3-2 in Hull. So the home leg was going to be an important advantage in the second leg, but a bad mistake from Dad's best player led to another Hull City goal. And with Dad 4-1 down, he couldn't prevent being maured by the Tigers after only managing to scrape 1 goal back. Oh, disappointing, Dad. Not a promotion in that first season after how much money he spent as well. Hull City.
So close, but yet so far.
Hull City on a 4-3 went through to the playoff final and then lost to West Brom. Personally, I think your team is good enough to get automatic promotion.
Yeah, they should have done.
Derby and Norwich getting that far ahead of you.
10 points.
10 points behind Derby.
Not even close though, is it really? But
especially when you had a top score of 31.
Yeah. When you look at it though, I mean, first and second over 100 points. They're the teams that beat, and then just unfortunately, I just couldn't get close enough. Drew too many games again.
Lost 9 as well.
Yeah.
Lost way too many, drew too many. Yeah. Not good enough. Considering you're the top goal scorer and the highest assister, you got to think clean sheets.
Yep.
There wasn't enough. Defensively, there wasn't enough. So disappointing really. 4th round in both of the cups as well. So not exactly a very big cup run for reputation purposes. Diaz 35 goals this season. John Kennedy, 23. Ndai, 15, but good amount of assists. Bergvall, as we mentioned, with 17 assists and a good average rating.
Yeah.
Actually, he was the second highest behind somebody who only played 3 games, so technically the highest you would consider him. So he's had a great time and he is wanted. But the downside to you, Dad, is under a transfer embargo, so we cannot make any any signings at this present moment.
No.
Now, however long that continues, you're going to have to take gambles, I guess. But you do have £1 million in there already, so no.
But then if I can't spend it, I can't spend it, isn't I? So many difference how much I got in there, really.
Well, that's it. So you're staying put, whereas I have got on to gain automatic promotion. Now, the club I actually fell behind, Ral, I had never heard of, so fair play to them, but they got 3 more points than us. We managed to get up there, and comfortably as well, 4 points in this type of league. I'm really happy with that. We had the most player of the matches with a player there. We had a couple in the average rate, including Ferrero, who's done very well there. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. It's what I'm going to do next, because I'm looking at this now and thinking, oh, this is good. We're going up into the division above. We've got 20 goals from him, 16 from our Ferrero, so he's done very well. So this team is not going to survive in that top division. We're going to have to reinforce and bring a lot of players in, and I've got a minus transfer budget. I do have 100%, but I have a minus transfer budget. And I'm already looking at that and going, it would be a tough ask if they gave me any money.
Yeah.
But the fact that I have to give them money first, and then I actually don't end up getting it, because you think, oh, only 500 grand, but my highest rate, my highest valued players less than $1 million. So the ones that are actually wanted for anything, I'm not going to be able to sign anybody. So, and you can't sign free transfers with a minus transfer budget either, as we've experienced quite a few times, because all the fees you have to pay. So I'm kind of being pushed into one direction. Not the band,
Thank God.
as much as I would like to, but into a new club. Now, right now, there's not a lot there that I'm looking at and going, that could be interesting. There's a couple of French teams maybe, but the Croatian teams, they don't have money either. Rijeka is not a lot really. Cagliari is a standout one. They got £15 million in the bank. They are going down. Well, they're still, in Serie B. After not gaining promotion, they sacked their manager there. So that looks like a good choice, because you like to think that they'd be one of the favourites to gain promotion, which, of course, adds to reputation. And in terms of reputation, there's a 3-star reputation, which is Cagliari. And what am I up to right now? 2.5. And 2.5, you can kind of apply for those 3 stars and be considered. Not being given it, but be considered. So, 2.5 stars, a couple of teams in there. Antwerp, but they've just been relegated into the league I've come out of. They're probably in a better position, although they have no money. But they probably have a better team. It's not something I really want to do again. Queen's Park, 2.5. We've seen the trouble that you had in this last challenge when you went to Scotland for a while. Maybe the German clubs.
Exeter stands out like it's so fun.
They definitely don't. Ignored that one on purpose. Magdeburg's actually going down to the Bundesliga 3. Paderborn is staying in Bundesliga 2, but they don't really have any money. I'll have to assess, really. Have a look. Maybe Tom FM can convince me to go to Lincoln, but they're in the Sky Bet League 1. And as I said, I don't really fancy going down to the lower leagues of England. I'm leaving that to you, to be honest. I'm kind of enjoying going around Europe and playing in leagues we don't really play in quite a lot. So, yeah, I might just resign and then see what pops up. Maybe a club approaches me, maybe one of these, especially Cagliari. I might apply for that one, for sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, are you staying put?
Nothing there I can even think about, so yeah, definitely.
For the time being?
Yeah.
Well, for the time being...
I'm close already, aren't I? So
yeah.
I've got a side that can do it. I just probably got to just twink a little bit. Like you say, the defence is my worst area. I think I definitely need a new goalkeeper.
You just got to hope that you are transfer embargo list during the summer.
That's going to be my own problem, yeah.
Yeah. But
I've got a massive squad, though, so...
Yeah.
If it does, I've got players I can sell.
Offload for you. All right, then. Well, let's see what happens in the summer of Season 4 in our race from unemployment to the Champions League, because, yeah, one season was great for me. the season for Dad? Probably not so much. Yes, it was time for me to resign from my job and explore other options to further my quest to the Champions League. 2 job interviews came through as invitations immediately, but neither of the clubs I applied for, and certainly I was not interested in. What I was interested in was Cagliari in the Italian League. They're a great step up and a big club with good money in the second tier of Italian football. However, I was swiftly rejected without even getting an interview. There were other options that I had also applied for though, including Mallorca. One that I hadn't applied for was Montpellier, but again they invited me in for an interview and I may have overlooked them because they have a strong team and probably should never have been relegated. Meanwhile, Dad was accepting and offloading a lot of his players in hopes to build a budget once the transfer embargo was lifted. And he built up a massive £90 million, but again, just one problem. For now, Dad is still under the transfer embargo and is not even able to put in a bid for any of the players. Which was rather hilarious for me as I was gratefully accepting the Montpellier job and darted off to France to become their new manager. Like Dad though, I couldn't make any signings either, not for embargo reasons but because of budget problems, and despite selling some of our first team players, I was still stuck paying massive wages, and this season was under winning ways though in late July. Dad had to wait for early August, but finally the transfer embargo had lifted and he started putting in a lot of bids. And with the money being spent, considering he was in the second tier, you really would expect him to walk this season in the Championship. Now, normally when we do these, they don't take us as long as what they did this season. This was easily one of the longest pre-seasons that we have had, mainly thanks to your annoying board and the transfer embargo that you had, which, I mean, it's okay now, but the owner is looking to leave still. You spent some money as well. £104 million. I mean, you did sell quite a lot. Yeah. At the end of the season, there's. I
think I generated like 95 million in the end, something like that.
Yeah, a big old transfer budget, but
probably more than that.
£104 million there.
I just got rid of the players that I felt that I didn't really need. It were just hanger-ons, really. So I got rid of a lot of them and generated 90 million. And do you know what? I still struggled, even though I had money in the bank to spend, and I just had every player I almost went for just did not want to come to me. In the end, I was struggling to get a goalkeeper. Yeah. Because I knew the goalkeeper that I had, his work permit wasn't going to go through, so I was only down to one keeper then, which was that young keeper again, and obviously we already know that he wasn't good enough, so. Yeah. Okay, well, let's see who you did bring in when you finally were allowed to sign players. You've got Tyreek George here, so on a free transfer. Yep, just someone that plays most of the positions that I'm going to play in, so nothing of a squad player really. Andrew Bevan up front. Yeah, it's a good striker really, yeah. Free for sure. Yeah. Lautaro Lopez, £2 million for 26-year-old defensive midfielder. Yeah, there's my defensive midfielder. He's probably the one that straight into the team. Then we've got Franco Gonzalez for £8 million, good attacking-sided midfielder. Yeah. Here's the goalie. Yeah. £9 million. 32. I mean, that was. I did not want to sign a goalkeeper for that much, really, over 30. But he was the only keeper I could get that'd come to me, and I had to have a keeper. So. Oh yeah, you got to. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what age they are, because it's not like you're going to be staying at Southampton. I do like to get a keeper sort of like round the 27, between the 27 and the 30 mark, if I'm going to spend that type of money on him. Yeah, but if they're at their best, they're normally when they're at their best is in their 30s. Yeah. So you're probably better at this point in this challenge to want to go for a 30-year-old goalkeeper because I would have spent, because I had the money in the bank, I would have spent more, but I just couldn't get any keeper to come to me. Yeah. Bright Ariambi, the centre-back, very quick. Desperately needed a left-sided centre-back, and I managed to get this guy in. Yeah, he's decent, he is as well. Jamil Siebert as well, £18 million to go alongside. So you've got two German centre-backs now who are very physical types of players, 6'4", with good strength, same as MB, who is, 6'3" or 6'2", with pace and strength as well. Two very physical centre-backs. Shanita Appelkamp, so Japanese player, was playing in Germany at Dusseldorf, centre attacking midfielder. He plays like a lot of positions I'm going to play in, so yeah, it's a good player to get into the side. Well, that's because you have changed system. Yes. So Musa Ndai is the last one. £30 million being spent on a left back in the Championship. Yep. I had to get a decent left back in as well. So this guy, Like I said,
Well, who did you bring in?
I was struggling. To get players to come in, and in the end, it was a case of I needed a left back. Who can I get? And this was the only guy who agreed to come to me.
I'm critical when I need to be.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
£104 million being spent, and I think I can only see one or two good signings.
And one of them's probably a free signing.
And one of them's Andrew Bevan, who's a free transfer, and the other one I'd probably say is this guy.
Yeah,
because he maybe plays better than what his rating suggests. And I know you should never go off the star rating, but it is a good sign in some regards, and I don't think those are good players compared to what you had. Because when you do best 11 pick, how many of them actually go into the team?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Is what I question. Because Arian B is the only one that you have signed after spending £104 million that's actually gone into the team.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, the keeper would be there.
Yeah, because the keeper's gone out on loan because of the work permit. So, or will he? Would it be the other one?
No, I think it'll be this one.
He hasn't played yet, but you have only just signed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other goalkeeper has played 7 games so far. So yeah, I'm critical when I need to be, and so far I am not seeing where that £104 million in the Championship was spent.
I've just got to hope this formation works for me then, really.
Well, yeah, you're going for a 4-4-2.
I don't like the problem. I don't like locking players in as well. But when I haven't got I don't mind in a smaller squad. But when you got a massive squad, I don't like locking players in then, because I feel that you get a couple of injuries and you need players to be moving around everywhere. And if you lock one player in, it could be dangerous. So that's what I'm going to go for.
All right. Well, schedule. You have won a fair amount of games. However, there are 3 losses in there, and 2 of them are in the Championship.
Yeah.
Watford and Leicester City, and Leicester give you a bit of a tonking as well.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah.
4-1.
I don't mind so much losing to Brentford in the Carabao Cup. Sometimes it can be better for you to get out of that as quick as possible. Too many games to play. And I can concentrate now until January before I get into the FA Cup. So it's not a bad start. It's not a bad start. I'm going to lose games in the Championship. You will do. It's a really hard league.
Yeah.
We know that. To get anything in this league, you're going to lose at least 5 or 6 games, and you could still win the league.
Have you solved the defensive side of it though? Because there's a lot of goals being conceded here. So
I've just got to hope that the strikers that I have brought in will score more goals.
All right.
Do my Kevin Keegan tactic, as I normally say.
Well, over to France, because yes, I left Belgium. I was approached by Montpellier. I did actually apply for them. I applied for the Cagliari, and I was kind of just waiting for other clubs. When Montpellier did come in, though, I thought, I'll have a look. Of course I will. And do you know what? It ain't all too bad there. Or here, should I say. Finances aren't amazing. All right, we've got no budget, 15%. Overall balance is bad. I haven't really been able to buy anybody because we are over the wage budget. I have tried to sell a few players, as you can see here, and I'm not getting anything in terms of money back from it. So no players been brought in. This is the same team that was relegated from the division above. But I'm fancying going for just a very standard 4-3-3. You can see I'm using 2 wingers on support, 2 centre mids on attack. So I'm hoping in attack we've got sort of 4 in behind our striker Luca Moro, who, as an Italian good actor, I think can do the job for us up front. We've got Pedro on one wing. We've got Akliush on the other, who's like a very pacey centre attacking midfielder, but we're playing him out on the wing because we don't have a lot of options in there. Ellertson's arguably one of our best players, the Icelandic international there, but we've also got this new gen, Sefil, who is quite talented, to be honest. He can also play centre-back too, but he's 5'8", so yeah, it's better just playing him in his...
Tall,
yeah, very. For you, anyway. How is it going in the Shire? Anyway, so...
He is the same age as me.
Sefil in that centre midfield is probably a better position. We've got Bellarabi, who is actually a really good left-sided centre-back for this league. We don't really have a ball player sort of player, so he is playing there instead. Just using, easy as it is, full-backs on attack. Goalkeeper's even set on just goalkeeping defend. I'm just going to try and win it in a very standard 4-3-3. Schedule at the start of the season. It's been a bit of a rough start, though. We lost the first game against Laval. Oh, no, we didn't. We beat Concarneau 3-0. Lost to Laval away from home. And drew to Châteauroux and Niort. So, yeah, Paris FC is the one game I thought we'd really struggle with, and we beat them 1-0. I don't really know. I do fancy our chances of promotion. If we're looking at the season preview, it does put us as odds on. We should absolutely storm this league favourites, and we've got 6 players, 7 actually with the goalkeeper, 7 players in the Media Dream 11. So we should really walk this, and I haven't signed a single player. So I think it's a good move in terms of my challenge of getting further up the leagues to then obviously reach the Champions League. If I can stay in Montpellier for a couple of seasons, getting promoted this season, survive next season, that's when I think I can start looking for another club after 2 years being spent here. And that will give me a good enough time to build a reputation, get some coaching courses, because we have been asking, as you can see. I can't ask for it right now because I've already asked for it. Doing coaching courses. So hopefully I can find a good job in a couple of seasons' time. But it's about this season now. I need automatic promotion. I think we both do.
100%.
I think we're both in the position where we should be getting automatic.
In the Champions League.
No.
In the Championship.
I just realised that Claude Makelele is the manager of Amiens, which is amazing. I absolutely love that. All right, let's see what happens then in season number 4 of the race to the Champions League. It took me longer than I had hoped for, but my Montpellier side eventually kicked into second gear and we began cruising. There were little blips here and there and still kept us on the straight and narrow, but only in second place and what looks like a 3-horse race to the title. Dad was struggling though, and in a lot of the games he would take an early advantage only to be let down by his defence. But although he was dropping far too many points, he still managed to stay in the playoffs and just a point behind second place. Dad was also about to enter his worst period in the season though, and he went on a 5-game losing streak. He even dropped out of the playoffs, and it required the opposite type of run to get loads of wins under his belt just to creep back in and secure a playoff position. My Montpellier winger system was cooking though, and Luca Morrow at front was enjoying feeding off of the service he was being given. We had a few slip-ups here and there, but it was still very consistent, and with just 2 games left, including Laval, we secured a promotion spot and just 1 point away from being crowned champions. Pulling that off in unbelievable fashion, winning the next game 6-1 and scoring some wonderful goals. Going up as champions in our first season after the side was relegated. Dad, though, had the dreaded playoffs, but a 2-0 win in the first leg, thanks to 2 goals from Bergval, gave him hope to get to the final. However, just like last season, it was heartbreak again as they lost 4-1 in the second leg to Leicester. Oh dear. Last season it was Hull, this season it's Leicester.
I was 2-0 up after the first leg, sorry.
Well, that's no good. You need to win both or both.
I just thought 2-0 up. Yeah, I've got that in the bag. I'll go to Leicester and I'll pinch a result there to get through to the final, but done it again. Lost in the semi-final again.
Very poor. I mean, the fact you finished 6th, I think is...
I mean, I was a long way away from who was in Ipswich in the next position, sort of. And I was quite close to the 2 above me, really.
Yeah.
You're only talking about 1 result, really, so...
Nowhere near automatics. 10 points again behind Birmingham.
Yeah.
He finished on 99 points.
Disappointed with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked that the board are giving you a C, to be honest.
Yeah, I was beating all the top teams. That's what was annoying me. Anybody who was above me, really, I seem to be beating them quite comfortably.
Terrible run here. That's what's cost you, look. 5 losses in a row.
Yeah.
5 losses in a row. That's 15 points just given away. And you're only 10 points. If you got that 15 points... won the league.
Yeah.
So, only 4 of them you won the league.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
It's really poor run of form there, that's cost you.
And a couple of games near the end as well. I don't know.
Wow.
I went on a good sort of run and just cost me quite badly, really. Disappointed again.
Spent so much money.
Yeah.
I think it's a system thing. You've only got £4 million left. So, if you are going to stick around, I think you need to sort the system out. The system doesn't work.
No.
In this division, unfortunately,
to be honest, I don't think I need to spend. I think I've got the players in to change it around.
Yeah, your squad's massive.
I mean, I've got the strikers to do it, but if you look at my top goal scorers, you would think I haven't. You'd think my serious problem is goal scoring.
Yeah, John Kennedy's the top. 16.
And I wasn't sure whether he was going to be my best striker, and he scored 16, and then my centre midfielder is scoring the next best goal scorer. That's where I'm definitely wrong somewhere there. So I don't know. Might have to go to full out attack and go 3 up front or something like that.
No, again, you tried that last season. It didn't work. You scored the most goals in the league with 109, but fewest conceded. You're nowhere near. It's your defence.
Yeah, 100%.
You're the 16th worst, 16th best defence, which means, you're one of the worst, if anything.
Yeah.
9th worst in the league.
Yeah, it's not scoring goals is not the problem. I've got the players, once we're going forward, I've got the players to do the damage. I've just got to sort the defence out somewhere along the line.
Yeah, I agree. But, I'm going up. So, one of us is doing our job, I think. Champions, and quite comfortably as well, by 6 points. Had a bit of a rocky patch, obviously, at the start of the season, but we really held on and just... It was one of them where we didn't have a patch after that. At the end, though, when we had the job done, that's when we started losing points. But, as I said, the job was already done at that point. We were already sort of like done and dusted, should get automatic promotion, especially because of the 3 going up. So, yeah, happy with that. Luca Morrow got 14 next season. They've only given us £2 million, but we've got a wage budget, which is nice. Don't think I'm going to be spending money in terms of bringing players in. It's more of a case of just finding free transfers and surviving next year. I've already got a plan in my head of what I want to do. I think going a little bit more defensive in terms of what this is and set up kind of like this, really. I think it's been a system that I do enjoy when I'm a struggling team, and sort of being a very good defensive side. I think that's something that I might look into for next season, because without that money, I don't think I can bring in the best attacking force in this league. It's all about survival in the league above with that. But yeah, my goal scorers, we've got Elliotson, who was my top scorer as well from centre midfield, and then Luca Morrow with 14. So Pedro got 15 assists, unbelievable from him on that right side. He can play right midfield, so I'm happy to change that if I need. An Alcaraz, who is my centre midfield on attack, who was next to Elliotson, has also done really well with 9 goals, 10 assists, only in 23 games. Not bad. But if one of us was tempted, right now, the clubs on this list are better than the last 2 seasons when we were looking at it previously.
Yeah.
It's a shame that none of us are Champions League almost worthy ready, because Chelsea and Bayern Munich are on there. So there's some huge clubs. But yeah, there's a few noticeable clubs that you would think, that's interesting. I think so. Anyway, we got West Brom's going down into the Championship. Alaves, who's going down into the 2nd division. Brescia is going down into Serie B. There's a few clubs there you think, all right, straight back up, and then you're sort of in a good position then. Real Sociedad on 4 stars. Hamburg in the Bundesliga, and only just relegated by a point. So you like to think they should be favourites next season. So there's some big clubs in there. Marseille, there's 4 stars, probably a little bit out of our realm right now. Some interesting targets. So, Dad, any of those tickle your fancy?
Not really, no.
No? Happy to stay at Southampton and spend another 100 million?
I'm not going to spend another 100 million. I might sell a few players just to generate a little bit more, just sort of like bring 1 or 2 players in. But there's nothing there I think sort of could make me sort of leave. West Brom, I don't know what the budget would be at West Brom, but like you're saying, they're just coming back down into it.
10 mil.
And I don't know what sort of players.
You probably have a better team than them already.
Yeah, and that's what I'd be worried about. Really, is whether they are a good side, but are they better than me if I just sort my team out properly? That's what I'm thinking about.
All right, what would you do in this situation? Would you be looking to leave if you were either of us, or looking to stay? And genuinely, what system do you think Dad should use to get himself out of the Championship? Seems like he needs something to put up his sleeve anyway for season number 5. Let us know, and make sure you're subscribed so you do not miss the next iteration of Unemployed to the Champions League.